I need to take a note real quick. An editing note. In ages long forgotten, light fought darkness for control of the world. Dark Dragon led the evil hordes of darkness. The ancients fought back with the powers of light. Dark Dragon was defeated and cast into another dimension. The Lord of Darkness vowed to return in 1,000 years. Time passed and Dark Dragon was forgotten by all. 10 centuries of peace ruled the land of Rune. Until the kingdom of Runefaust brought war and fear to Rune. Hordes of evil creatures ravaged every land. Here and there, strongholds of good still held out, awaiting a hero who could wield the powers of light. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to PlayView. The name's gurvmlk and I'll be your host as we dive into the world of Shining Force, the legacy of great intention for the Sega Genesis.
Wow! Dark Dragon? Ancients? Let's see now, what else does this old book say? 1,000 years have passed since they vanquished Dark Dragon. And this book says Dark Dragon threatened to return right about now. I bet anything that Dark Dragon is behind the evil hordes of Runefaust. I need to tell someone about this, but who would listen to a kid like me? I think Dark Dragon's coming back. Will you help us? Come on, it'll be an adventure.
Well, that's all the convincing I need. Let's go on an adventure.
Pick an adventure.
I always liked file number 2. Right in the middle, I feel like it's in the best spot of all of them. It's also the highest up. So, let's go with file number 2, because why not?
Say, what shall I call you?
As a kid, I used to always name the main character Rick. Just looking at his face, he always looked like a Rick to me. But then one day I decided, what happens if you just click end? And don't have a name. And that was the very first instance of me experiencing default names without them being initially displayed for you. Which is what we're going to be going with. So the main hero's name will be Max.
Nice to meet you, Max. I'm Simone. Come back often and tell me everything.
And with that little startup out of the way, we'll be diving into this grand role-playing adventure. Chapter 1, Runefaust Invasion. Max? Max? Come on, kid, wake up. I didn't hit you that hard. Keep your guard up, kid. Those beasts of Runefaust will tear you to pieces. Okay, that's enough for today. You'd better take it easy for a while. So as you just saw, we just finished sparring with our teacher Varios, who will be introduced in a moment. Well, Max, had enough swordplay for today? I don't know how you keep at it hour after hour. I'm dead tired after 15 minutes. That's our friend Lo, who, I assume we live at the church? I don't think it's particularly clear, but I think it might be specified in the later remake. This game was remade later on the GBA and they might have specified that. I honestly don't remember. But that's where we are right now. We're at the church training to be a soldier. Because all churches have sparring fields in their backyard. You have the markings of a great fighter, Max. I don't even know if I'm doing the voice the same anymore. This is an RPG, so there's gonna be a lot of characters, so forgive me if I don't have very wide assortment of voices for the characters, or if some of the voices end up changing or sounding the same as the story goes on. I'm not very good with voices in general, so I'm just gonna be winging the voices as they happen. So that's gonna be a thing. You'll be tested soon enough. Lord Varios, the king has sent for you. You must come at once. Of course. Lead the way, guardsman. I fear the worst, Max. Prepare yourself for true battle immediately. There's some foreshadowing of our adventure. Did you see Varios' face? He went pale. Something really big is happening. Let's split up and see if we can't find out what's going on. I'll see you later. So, being an RPG, we start off in a town, and of course our first goal is to talk to people. So let's go around and see the town and gather some information, shall we? Starting with this lady.
I'm sick of feeling helpless. I'm going to ask Varios to train me to be a fighter.
There's some gusto for ya. Hello, Max. I've been having the worst nightmares. Have you had any? Let's say no. Well then, let me tell you about mine. I saw our land in ruins. Evil creatures roamed our halls. It seems so real. And of course he's a priest, so that's not the kind of premonition you want a priest to be having. But the story's gotta start somewhere. Varios seemed very upset when he passed this way. Perhaps you should look for him. Working on it, but first I have to talk to this old man. What's a youngster like you doing moping around? Get out and fight evil! That's quite the motivational speech, isn't it? Hey, you youngster! What are you doing? Just standing around here. Go kill monsters! Do something with your life, you worthless sack of bleh! Man, he should be like a sports coach or something, cause he really has a way with words. Back and forth, up and down. Man, I'm tired of guarding this chapel all day.
The castle of Guardiana lies just ahead. Varios went in just a while ago.
Well, there's the useful information that tells us exactly where we need to go. Someday I hope to go to Manarita and become a mage. I feel like you might be a bit old for that. I've always been under the impression that mages are old because they spend their entire life studying, so if you're gonna start old, you're probably not gonna get very far. This is a nice looking family.
My poor girl, I can't seem to calm her down.
What's going on with the girl?
I had the most awful dream. The whole town burnt down. Our house too.
Oh, but, of course the house. That's the worst thing of all. What's that toy of hers supposed to be? Like a squirrel or something? We're all upset about our daughter's nightmare. Do you think it means anything? Of course not! What could a nightmare mean in a video game? Hacha! Hey, watch it, pal! How do you like it if I tried to run you over with a cart? That's actually important information for later on. But we don't have to worry about that until we get to the next town. Dog! Move, dog, I need to talk to your owners. Hello, lady.
Sorry, but I'm busy packing. Grandpa's out somewhere. He has time to talk.
Of course, Grandpa has time to talk. The old people always have time to talk.
Grandpa was once the best warrior in all of Rune, but that was a long time ago.
That sounds promising. Where is this grandpa of yours? Have you seen my cart? It rolls away all the time. Needs new brakes, I guess. There's a tip I actually forgot about. Ooh, an inn that's useless. Bad times, my friend. Not a guest in 2 weeks. We'll never have to use this inn. There are, I think, a few more inns throughout the game, but you never have to use them. Like most strategy RPGs, after battle, you get healed, so that's not something we'll ever have to worry about. Be careful, Max. The knights resent the time Lord Vario spends training you. Now, I do think it's cool, though, that the towns do have inns, though. It makes sense, even though you don't need them, that they would exist. Hello. An order from the castle. No one leaves. Sorry, Max. Talk to the king if you want to leave. Orders are orders. Yeah, those guys won't let us leave the town until we've done what we need to. I can't walk behind buildings. Pressing the button. Can't do that. Good perspective work, people. There are so many monsters outside the city gates, there's no escape. Ooh, the bar. Pay the old man no heed, youngster. His mind isn't what it used to be. Hey there, youngster. My name is Gort. Care to hear my story? Thanks. No one talks to me anymore. All too busy. Want to hear a secret? I just said yes. Why are you asking me a second time? Never trust anyone outside the city. Murderers and thieves. All of them. I ought to know. I used to be a great warrior. Been all over the world. Why, I have half a mind to go out again. Would if I got a good offer. Yeah, that sounds like a grumpy old man. Ooh, a shop. Don't mind the boss. He gets like that sometimes. Perhaps I can help you out. He gets like what? I can buy items here, but I have no money. And I don't really need these anyway. Hello, sir. What's going on with you? Not another customer. What? What kind of businessman complains that a customer just came into his shop? Buy, sell, buy, sell. That's all I do. Just go away. But I'm here to give you money so you can keep your shop open and feed your family and keep a roof over your head. Why are you pissed off about me keeping you from becoming a homeless bum? Okay, I'll leave. I'll take my $0 elsewhere, thank you very much. To the castle! This is Guardiana Castle, thank you. This is Guardiana Castle, thank you. Now this is a proper training ground. This is much more appropriate than a church. Watch out, Max. These are real knights training out here. You might get hurt. The Guardiana Knights have no need for you, Max. Okay, we'll see about that. Beat it, Max. This training feels too rough for the likes of you. Huh, training wears me out. And yet they're saying that I don't belong here. We have trained until our arms are ready to fall off. When will we see battle? Don't let them get to you, Max. Some knights are always complaining. We'll make quick work of those Runefaust beasts. Got some enthusiastic warriors in this castle. That's good. A great view from the top of this tower. You can see forever. Yes, it's an interesting tower, isn't it? So much to see and do. Yeah, so much to see and do in the boiler room. Man, I sure wish I could go on a tour of a boiler room sometime. Just hang out in there. Oh my, what a lovely view. Hello. What do you think of this view? Hello. These are my quarters. Find someplace else to sleep. That's a reasonable reaction. That is the story, Varios. Then, Your Majesty, we have no choice but to send Max, a young fighter. Oh, Max, good. I was going to look for you. First, listen to the king. Also, why did you sneak in from the back? First, you must listen to what the king has to say. First, you must listen to what the king... Okay. For centuries, our people have watched the Gate of the Ancients as its guardians. Beyond that gate lies we know not what. That's a weird sentence. Not even if it is of the light or the darkness. But the Ancients knew, and they sealed it beyond the gate and set us as guards. And now we find that we may have failed in our mission, our reason for existence. Signs have been seen that forces of Runefaust are at the Gate of the Ancients. Whatever evil they are planning, we must stop it at all costs and at once. But we must not panic the people. A small group of young but skilled warriors. Yes, he could do it. He could leave town unnoticed and have a chance to succeed, perhaps. Yes, Nova, I agree. Max, will you take this task? Yeah, okay. Very well. Now return to town and gather your troops. Come back when you're ready. So now I have a mission! Whew! Seems like a mighty poor plan to me. But who listens to my advice? I'm only the advisor guy or whatever. No one listens to me. I'll leave everything to you. I must fortify the castle. Gather your troops quickly. There is no time to lose. Yes, he could do it. Okay. So now we have a mission to gather an army and then investigate what's going on with the Tower of the Ancients.
I'm so mad. Do you want to know why?
No.
Why I never... How rude!
Okay. Sure, I'll listen.
It's that Tao. How dare she call herself a mage? If she's a mage, I'm a footstool.
Who's Tao?
Princess Henri is away in Manarina. Do you know about the land of Manarina?
No.
Manarina holds an arcane college where the best mages are trained. Take care, Max. It is more dangerous out there than you suspect. Or so I've heard.
Okay. The king seems very worried. Do you know why? Yes. Well, you young people think you know everything. But he just told me why he's worried. I'm not lying. Believe me, old man. I know everything. I can see the future. I know what's going to happen. Because I've beaten this game before.
Greetings, Max. I am May, Varios' daughter. The other knights feel that Father has wasted his time on you. We shall see.
Yes, we shall. What kind of treasure? I'm not sure. Something really valuable, I guess. What's this of treasure? I didn't even ask about treasure. Why is he telling me about treasure? Move! 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 Ooh, treasure! Hey, cut that out! You can't just push your way in here. Get out! I can't even talk to you. So with that, we're off back to town to find an army to recruit to investigate the Tower of the Ancients. Or the gate, rather. Oh look, an army! Wait, Max, Nova sent us. We're going with you. I am Luke the Warrior. As in, the guy who was just standing with the king 5 seconds ago. Why didn't we just do this up at the castle? Ken the Knight, at your service, Max. I'll follow wherever you lead.
I am Tao. I'm only an apprentice mage, but I'll do my best.
I am Hans, an elven archer. I'm coming, but don't put me in the front lines, okay? Luke, Ken, Tao, and Hans join the Shining Force! Meet us at headquarters back in the castle. Alright, so we've got it. What? Hey, Max, don't try to sneak out of town without me. And low. So we've got our forces gathered. Now that you have your comrades, return to the king to hear his final commands. I'll follow your progress and offer advice as you face the vile hordes of Runefaust. Well, that's settled. See you at headquarters! Speaking of which, we now also have a main base, which, for some reason, follows us through every town in the game. Good luck, Max. Here's our headquarters. It looks like shit, but This is gonna be our home as we travel across the country to combat the forces of evil. Let's chat with everyone real quick. At last, a chance to become a real knight. Count me in. I'm ready, Max. You line them up and I'll chop them down.
I'm eager to try my magic. Let's get out there and toast some monsters.
You just assume monsters are what we're gonna be fighting. I'm most useful as a healer, but I'll get in a few good whacks when I have to. I can heal wounds, but please try not to get injured, okay? In other words, you want to be useless. Please don't put me in the front. I can't stand being hit. There's some enthusiasm. And Nova. Well, Max, are you ready to face the enemy? With Nova, we can get advice for upcoming battles, check the statistics of our characters, manage our party, and manage items. But for now, we don't have to worry about managing our party because everybody is active. Let's take a quick look at our team, see what we've got to work with. First, we've got the leader, Max. Swordsman. Basically just a generic fighter, gets in there, whacks enemies with his sword. He has the spell Egress, which is the only spell you'll be learning throughout the entire game. But all it does is retreat from battle. The two things with him, though, is number one, he has to always be active in our party. And number two, if he's defeated, we lose the battle. Just like with most tactical RPGs of this variety. Check someone else's status. Next up is Ken the Knight. He's a centaur, so he's got high mobility, but the trade-off is he's not very good at moving through rough terrain. He can move far along flat ground or floors, but if there's trees or hills in the way, he's severely impeded with movement. He uses spears, though, which gives him longer attack range than most fighters, which is useful. Next up is Luke, basic fighter, another just basic fighter. He uses swords and axes, so he can't attack from a distance like Ken can. But his stats in general, aside from his movement, will more or less be a little bit higher, particularly his attack and defense. Next we have Tao, a mage. So currently she only has the basic blaze spell for damaging enemies. The nice thing about magic is it can't miss, but it does a set range of damage, so it won't get any more powerful as we progress through the game, but she will learn higher levels of the magic as she levels up. Next up is Lo, a healer. Don't really have much else to say about that. His offensive abilities are a little bit better than a wizard's with hitting with his stick, and he has a bit more survivability, but he doesn't really learn offensive spells, just restoration and support. Last is Hans the Archer, who can also attack from a distance. The problem with archers is they cannot attack enemies that are directly in front of them, but later on, their arrows will have longer range than spears, so that's kind of the thing they can do. And they also will... Well, he's an elf, so he'll have better movement later on in certain types of terrain than Ken. Now for some advice. Word of advice. Seek the hermit who lives by the gate of the ancients. That's actually pretty useful. To the king! I know this is dragging on a while, but it's an RPG. Because of that, episodes are, of course, going to be longer than what I've been uploading so far, but that way the series won't drag on forever. But I also want to talk to people and kind of let viewers experience the lore of this game. You have your troops, but you need supplies. Take this to purchase what you need. Max gains 100 coins, because that's all the king can offer for saving the country. A cart will take you to the Gate of the Ancients. Go now and carry out your task. We have money to buy supplies, but I'm not going to be doing that. The weapon shop owner is still being a grumpy jerk, not wanting to sell stuff. This guy will sell me restorative items, but at this point in the game, I don't really need those. I'd rather save money for weapons later on. Now these guys will let us through because we've received permission from the king. This guy explains what the Egress spell does, so if we're in trouble, we run away. Onward to battle! We've arrived at the Gate of the Ancients. Max! Goblins! Runefaust must be up to something. We can take... I almost said we can't take them. Oh, that would be, I feel like if that's what she said, that she'd need to just go away. She just would get in the way if she lacks... If she's so lacking in confidence. Move it, vermin! Find the key to this blasted door! Come on, we're almost in! Where is that blasted key? He's like a grumpy guy who can't find the keys to his car as he's trying to leave for work. What? Blast it! Those fools from Cardiana are here! Sudden earthquake! Attack, goblins and dwarves! Strike a blow for the honor of Runefaust! So we've got our very first battle! And to kick things off, we are going to run away. Yes, run from the battle, because we have to visit that hermit that was mentioned. Also a hamster. I am Gong. I have fought the evil of Runefaust for many years. I will aid you. Gong joins the Shining Force. That's about as much motivation as most characters in this game will have for joining us. There's really not much story for most of our party members. They're just like, I will join your troops. Yeah, like that. It's basically just boils down to that. So we got a new party member in our first secret character. If we go in here, we can talk to this lady.
Strange things are in the woods. They give me the creeps.
Well, what a surprise! Rarely do we have guests in such a remote area. I am a friar, though I may not look it. How can I help you? He offers priestly services. We can save our game, we can bring people back from the dead, we can heal status ailments, and we can promote our characters to a higher job class, which none of this is really particularly useful at this time, so may the powers of light always be with you, Max. And hamster!
Greetings, Max. I have been waiting for you. Greetings, Max. I have been waiting for you.
But why? This sure is something, isn't it? Alright, we saw the hamster. Back to battle. Now, we are going to actually be engaging in this fight. But first, let's check out our new party member real quick. We have Gong, a monk. He also has healing abilities, and he doesn't use weapons, but he's kind of like a hybrid between a healer and a fighter. He's not really a great healer, but he can heal. And he's not really a great fighter, but he can fight. Just kind of a mixed bag there. Now, when I first played this game, this battle screen fascinated me, and I just thought this was the most amazing thing, because I had never played a game like this before. I had played a couple RPGs. This was around the time. This was when was this? When did I play this game? Probably about 94 or 95 or something when I first played this. Alright, Ken's up to attack. As you can see, he's got his spear so he can attack enemies from either a long or close range. Let's actually check out these guys real quick. We've got the goblins. They're just the weakest enemies in the game. Nothing really special about them. Dark dwarves, just stronger enemies. And then the Rune Knight, which is again just a stronger enemy. The enemies aren't particularly anything special at this point in the game, but the Rune Knight is the unspoken leader of this battle. So if we take him out, the battle will immediately end. And whenever you attack, you get this battle screen to show what happens. Shows the attack, shows damage, experience points. If you level up, it'll show what your stats do, and so on. Anyway, as I was saying, this game was the very first of its kind I'd ever played. Before then, I had played other RPGs, but only a couple of them. Just like 1 or 2 Final Fantasy games. And maybe like something like Breath of Fire or something. I don't remember exactly how many other RPGs I'd played by this point. But I just remember seeing this screen and finding it fascinating that there is this game that was basically an RPG like ones I'd played before, but instead of having a smaller party of, wow, there was a critical hit. Right out of the gate, Tal's just proven she's a champ right off the bat. She's really gotta prove that woman that was back in the castle wrong. And she's doing an excellent job so far of achieving that. So I actually want to give that kill to Lo because healers are kind of difficult to level up throughout the game, so I want to give them early experience points when I can. And from the looks of it, I may not even have to do so deliberately. Because Max could have... Oh, come on. Ah, fine. I'll manage. So anyway... So I played games like Final Fantasy, and then I saw this game, and it wowed me. To see a RPG with a gameplay mechanic like this where you have a large party of characters. And not only did you give them tactical commands for the battle, but you also had to manipulate their placement and their movement. And I just thought it was the coolest thing. And I immediately fell in love with the game because of that. Did I just lose because of the turn order? None of this is really particularly useful at this time, so... Yes, I did. This game's turn order can be wonky at times. Fortunately, when you lose in this game, you don't lose any progress. You just lose half of your money. And because this is the first battle in the game, that doesn't really matter. Normally, though, I don't lose ever throughout the entire game, so it's kind of embarrassing that I lost in the very first battle. But that wasn't my fault. That was the fault of the wonky turn order, because that goblet, or that dark dwarf got a second turn so soon. Which can happen. The turn orders in this game aren't, like, based on rounds. Like, sometimes a character can even wind up getting 2 turns in a row, so... sometimes it can be kind of hard to predict what will happen based on the turn order. Like, you can't just assume, oh, this guy just went. Now all my other characters will get a turn before him. That's not how it works. And that was a fine demonstration of that. So, it is what it is. Unfortunately, that leaves me without a whole lot to add, because there's really not much to this battle, honestly. It's just a really simple first battle, a very basic battlefield setup just to kind of teach you how to play the game. And get familiar with the controls, familiar with your party, low stop missing, familiar with the enemies, and just how everything functions. It does what it needs to for a first battle. Not too difficult, but they don't just hand you the victory either. Especially with the Rune Knight. That guy in particular, I felt, made the battle actually kind of tough when I was a kid. Max leveled up! Got attack, defense, and speed. The speed stat is influences turn order, but it's not set in stone. Like, one character can have a speed of 10 and another character can have a speed of 8. But the character with the speed of 8 might still go sooner. So another example of how the turn order is just kind of not perfect. Which in a way is a good thing, because it can help keep you on your toes at times, because there's no guarantees as far as what might happen when. Ken's gonna be in trouble. Luke's fine. Luke's got the defense to take some hits. But they're both within kill range of the Dark Dwarves, so I need to get them healed up. Get a finishing blow. The Blaze spell does a standard 7 damage, so if an enemy has less than that... That was a good level up. She didn't get anything but magic points, but magic points are a good thing to get. Go and cast your heal magic on Ken. And healing does not give very much experience points, especially later on, so healers definitely will struggle to keep up, which is why I want to feed them kills at this point in the game. But so far I'm not having much opportunity to do so. I'm actually gonna back Luke up to safety just in case. That exposes both Max and Tau, which isn't the best, but again, the wonky turn order, I didn't want one of those Dark Dwarves to get a turn before Lo could have a chance to heal up. Hans leveled up. He gained 1 point in speed. That's a pretty standard level up for Hans. He's not very good. If I move over here, if I move onto the rubble, my land effect will go up, which should make me take less damage if I'm attacked. But of course, they're gonna focus fire on Max. He got defense though, so he should be able to take the hits now. His defense, yeah, he gained 1 defense though from the previous level up, so unless that's a crit, he'll be fine. Or a double it.
Good job.
The Let's Play curse is strong with this one. And it doesn't even have anything to do with my performance. I'm performing just fine, but even though I'm doing that, the Let's Play curse will not let up. If there's ever been any evidence of the Let's Play curse being a real physical entity in this universe, this playthrough is it. Because I have died twice now to dumb luck in the very first battle of this game, despite the fact that I don't lose in this game. I have beaten this game dozens of times without Max being defeated. But of course now, because I'm filming it and trying to show the game off and be good at it, suddenly the game's like, guess what? It's time for you to suck! Enjoy! Let the whole world see how shitty you are at this game, even though you've basically mastered it, just because the game has to throw all these random curveballs your way for no reason other than because you're filming it. It's like the game knows that it's being filmed, and now it has a point to make about not being embarrassed itself. I'm getting experience points, so that's a thing, I guess. And a little bit of grinding might be useful because of my plans for later on in the game, but I won't get into that right now. Interesting that they didn't move in that time. I guess because I wasn't actually high enough up with anybody else. Skip Max there. Now he has land effect as well, so he should be fine.
But we don't live in Shudland.
That was a terrible level up for Ken. Wow. Game really is punishing me this time around, and I don't know why. What did I ever do to it besides give it love? Let's form a line so they can't gang up on any one person. Oof. Hang in there, Gong. No one can heal you because people are in the way. But, I mean, once you get a turn, you can heal yourself. Another double attack on Max? Really? I mean, it wasn't fatal because it was from a goblin, but... Jeez. I should want to keep Gong in the way. As much as that'll block Low from being able to also heal, but I'll make it work. I need to focus fire on these dwarves first. They're the real threat. Especially when they keep getting so many turns. I need to get in the way, so that guy can't get to Max if he tries. Dang it. I was hoping that Max would get a turn before Low so he could get out of there. Let's deal some damage. Bring on the hurt, Low. Bam! 1 damage. Perfect. Bam! Double attack. 2 damage. That's retribution. No, Low! Dodge. Good dodge. And of course, he's going for Max. I swear to God, if Max dies again... Max! Go hide. Let everybody else take care of this. If that Rune Knight... I forget where the Rune Knight's trigger is, but if he goes for Low, then he's dead. So I'm going to try and see if I can lure the attack to go to Hans instead. Please don't put me in front. I can't stand being hit. Alright, he's still not triggered. Oh my God, he could have gone for Max and reached him. Oh, that would have been dumb. Heal Max! Because Max is apparently useless. Alright, let's try to... Let's try to gather our bearings and heal up before we engage this guy. Try to make sure nobody gets killed. Alright, time to engage the final enemy and put an end to this battle, finally. For crying out loud, this is ridiculous. Bam! 6 damage. Gotta toast those monsters, as she said. Low, whack him! Stick power! 2. Oh, that was much more of an ordeal than it had any reason to be. Fools! You have won here, but Lord Cain of Runefaust is even now attacking Guardiana. Blech. Oh no, another earthquake! If that creature spoke truly, we must return to help defend Guardiana. But... I think we're gonna save that for next time because... Man, those... deaths really, were really stupid. So, with that said, If you liked this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Do all that stuff to help support the channel. Make sure we can get all the way through this game. I would love to play this, especially because I have some particular plans for this playthrough that I've wanted to do for a long time. And if you're enjoying this playthrough and want to see more Shining Force right away, you don't want to have to wait for me to upload, especially because my upload schedule's kind of slow and sporadic. I also have a friend who, a couple years ago, played through the GBA remake of this game. So, if you want to see more of this game, go ahead and check that out. With that said, see you next time! Onward to our homeland to defeat the evil forces that are allegedly evil. Even though they may not be evil, they're just our enemies, so they're evil, apparently. Fun thing about these idiots, but, you know, things happen, you just gotta sometimes roll with the punches. Ow! Achoo! Which is useless because I got a little bit of a uh-oh. Why? As a kid, I had a friend. Where are you getting this information? It's all good. Why do I keep losing?